William, I would say good morning, but it's good morning for me and good afternoon for you.
Yeah, it's good
Wow.
afternoon.
How are you?
I'm doing well. And you?
I'm good. Tell me,
Great.
you are in Ghana, right?
Yeah, Tema. I mean Tema.
Mm,
Yeah, Ghana.
Tem-
Yeah.
That is fantastic. Man,
Thank
am
you.
I lucky to talk to you. It's been a while.
Yeah. Uh, like few months, right?
Yeah.
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 Well, I mean, if we were honest with the audience, it would be like 5 minutes ago, but yes, together our conversations, yeah, just a few months ago, and that's why we decided to do this because you have so much wonderful things going on, and,
Yeah.
um, we just wanted to be able to spend time to talk about you and your journey, and, look at this. How did and, our meeting, our first
Yeah, I remember
meeting
that.
in
I pulled a
person.
surprise on you.
Yes, you
Yeah.
did. You
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
But wasn't that, gosh, was that a year and a half ago, right? I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Should be a
Wow.
year. Going to two. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That is fantastic. So I'm going to talk about you for a minute, everybody. William Plange here, and he is in Ghana and has done a lot of things in his life, had a lot of struggles, and it's been just quite the journey for him all the way to today. We're going to talk about some of the incredible challenges and changes that have happened throughout his life, and then we're going to talk about you have a book coming soon. It's in review, and hopefully will be coming out maybe in the next 6 months to a year, or less, right? Which would be wonderful. So I am just thrilled to be able to get to talk about this. And we've got like people coming on. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming in and joining us. And feel free to comment and ask questions. But we're gonna dive in. So we met at the time that you were um, making had started making the Invisible Mup.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
before that, years before that, you started out in the forest,
Yes.
um, at the very beginning.
Yes. Yes.
Tell me about that. How was that?
Yeah. So it all started after school. In Ghana, when you complete school and then you need a good job, you need to know somebody, at the level, like politically, like in the government, so you can get a good permanent job that can sustain you.
Mm,
But I was not fortunate enough. I completed school. My friends were having all the good jobs, and I was depressed. Seeing my classmates riding their cars, going to work and come, and then I'm alone stuck at home.
mm,
A whole lot of things started running to inside my mind.
uh-huh.
So I took a personal decision to leave the city, okay, and go live with a small family in the forest. In Ghana, it's in the northern part of Ghana. So I went there, and then it was it was very uncomfortable. No electricity, no good drinking water.
Oh,
And all we did was we wake up in the morning and we go to the farm.
mm,
We wake up in the morning, go to the farm, get some food, and come back. That was what we were doing basically every day. And then we live in a hut. I don't know if you know a hut. A
uh-huh.
small, yes, small building made with clay. And we're like 17 people in a room. It's just a small room, you know,
Wow.
17 people. And, it was very uncomfortable, but I had a lot of lessons there. And I would always say that being in that situation is a good time for you to refreshen up your mind and think very deep. Because at that point, I wanted to come out of that situation. So I
Yeah.
had a lot of ideas, and that is where I had my first business idea called the errand boy.
Mhm.
Called the errand boy.
Uh-huh.
So um, the errand errand boy was basically, helping people who are busy scheduled. So when they want to do something like this, say bankers, they don't
Mhm.
have time to go run errands. I set in there and then do the errands for them. And that's the
Wow.
business idea I had from the forest. So when I came back to the city, I started doing the errand boy business. Now, and I also had love for people telling me that, thank you, William. If it wasn't you, I wouldn't have got this done. It gave me a good feeling inside of me. You know, there I realized that no, that is my passion. I love to just help people and just get thank you. And it wasn't because of the money. I
Yeah.
wasn't making much money from it. But then people were just saying, like, William, thank you. God bless you, William. And I felt very good inside of me. That is why I started having contacts. And now I have about 4,000 contacts on my phone. Judges, policemen,
Yeah.
lawyers, all the prominent people. I know who to call when I need some kind of help here. And it
Yeah.
was because of the errand boy business. Yeah. So, being through that uncomfortable situation, I have journeyed through a lot and I've realized that, sometimes when we find ourselves in such situations, it is not meant to bring us down. It is meant for us to, step up in our life, go to another level. Like I say, like life is like schooling. When you go to school, there are times you need to take exams. Like you write an exams.
Mhm.
When you pass, you move on to the next level. And that is basically how life is and how uncomfortable situations are. Now, during this time, you go to normal classes, you can do whatever you want. But when it's time for exams, they separate, there's a gap between you and your colleagues, and they are invigilators. I don't know if that is done in the US, but in Ghana, they are invigilators who will prevent you from asking your friend questions.
Oh.
And that time is an uncomfortable time, uncomfortable situation for you. Now it's between you and the paper. How do you pass? So I feel that uncomfortable situations are like school and an examination time. But then when you're able to write it and pass it well, you move on to the next level and then you move ahead in life. Yeah, so that's basically about me to the forest and then coming back to getting my first business idea as an errand boy.
And how long did you are you still doing errand boy, or how long did you do that?
I did that, it was I did errand boy. I started in 2014. That was when I was in the forest.
Wow.
I spent 6 months there. When I came back, I started in 2014. And I still do it, but it's not like on the higher level now. I just do it when somebody calls me that,
Mhm.
hey William, can you get me this? And I just do it for them. I don't even charge for it. Yes, because it's something that it's from within. I just love doing that. Yes. So I can say I still do it, but not professionally. Yes.
Okay. Okay. And so what what was the next business idea? What did you
Yes.
do
So
next?
the next business was going to market to get used shoes and then clothes. Sometimes they bring clothes from US, Germany to Ghana. We have a market for that, like used clothes. Yeah, so
Okay.
when I go there, yes, I go there at 4 a.m. because if you want to get the best of shoes, you have to go there at dawn. So sometimes 3:30 a.m. I have to wake up and move to the market and start making my selections. So
Uh-huh.
when I make selections, I get a cool ones and it's not really expensive. So when I come back home, I wash them, makes it look very nice, and then I post them on my social media platform. And
Oh,
I increase the price because people do not know where you pick it up from.
yeah.
Once it looks good, they'll buy it. So I increase the price. And then these people that I made contact with whilst I was doing the errand boy were the same people calling me to get shoes. So I started that, and then they were buying from me, and the shoes was also was booming, was growing. But sometimes, business, you can't get it smooth all the time.
Yeah.
It goes up, it comes down, it goes up, it comes down. So when you don't have passion for it, when it comes down, you might want to quit it. So that is why I always tell people that when you are doing a business, when you're choosing a business, choose something that you have love for. Because it's not going to go smooth all the time. It's going to come down. And when you have love for it and it comes down, you don't even care. You still do it because of the love you have for it. So the shoe business was going down, but I still love running errands and helping people. So I just kept doing it. And then it goes up again, it comes down, it was just swinging. And because of love, I just maintained it, and I kept going.
And how long did you do that?
I did that for like 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years, yes. I did that for 2 years.
And now we're coming up on what, like 2019, around that time, or and so what did you do from there?
So 2019, um, I had the mug business idea. Actually, a lady was selling them. That one, yes. A lady was selling it, yes. So I was using my errand contact.
Hmm.
I was just posting it for the lady. I had an agreement with her that, you know what, I can help you sell this because I have some contacts. So I'm going to post videos of these marks on my platform,
Hmm.
but I'm going to put my contacts on it. So when people call me, I link the business to you. You make it, I pay you and I get my commission. And
Hmm.
she agreed. So I was just selling it. People were having love for it. Then one day I asked the lady to just give me a different video sample because the old one was just people have seen it for a long time. So I just wanted to change it. This time around, she sent me a video with her contact on it. I was like, hey, this wasn't the deal. If I post this, people are going to call you directly and I make no money from it. So can you please take off your contact? And she angrily said, no, she can't do that. Now
Yeah.
people are calling me. Everybody wants the mark, and I don't know what to tell them. So I took my last savings. I had the whole money that I had with me. I took this big risk and ordered for a machine from China, a single machine. Yes,
Wow.
I took all my money out, and I was just praying that this thing should come. And then in 3 weeks, I had it in Ghana here. I'm like, oh my God. So I started producing for people who were calling me.
Uh-huh.
And then, can you believe in 2 months, I had back the money that I used in buying the machine, and I had profit like times two within 2 months. I was like, wow. So I make a good decision. And the mag business started from there, and I started doing it. Yes,
And are you still doing the mug business?
yes, I am. So I met David
Uh-huh.
on LinkedIn. This one wonderful story. I just made a post, and then David made a post that, hey, goodbye Ghana. I love the country and I would want to be back again. So when I saw it, I didn't know David from anywhere. I just comment on the status. I was like, hey, I'm from Ghana. I should have seen you before leaving. I was just a joke.
Yeah.
And David reached out back again. He was very friendly. Then I told him my story. Hey, David, my name is William. I did this. I moved from the forest. I started selling shoes. And he told me he loved my drive. He loved what I was doing. So we should just keep in touch. So we kept in touch, and David introduced me to Erudite,
Yeah.
and that is where I had to tell my story to
Yeah.
Erudite,
Yeah.
and then they contributed for me, and then gave me an extra mag machine, and that is where I entered the American market. And you, God being so good, you became my first international um, buyer of the mug. And it's history. I have you on my wall here, the wall of memory. I keep you guys here just to remind myself of my journey so far.
Hmm.
Yes. So there I started sharing my post, my story about the
Hmm.
forest, encouraging people. Then people got to love it. I had some DMs from people in the States wanting me to come to their platform and share my story. I did it because because I know people go through what I went through. People get depressed, the whole world people get depressed.
Right.
And I want to use myself as, an example to tell people that no, everything is possible
Yeah.
and everybody has something special inside of them that needs to come out for the world to see. So while I was sharing these stories, I was like, no, this marks is black, but when you pour hot water, it reveals a wonderful picture, a
Yeah.
hidden picture out. And I have been through, uncomfortable situations, and that can depict the blackness of the mark. So when people are in such situations, it's like, you know, they are lost, they have nothing. So you see this mark is just black. You pour
Yeah.
the hot water in it, and then within few seconds, it brings out an image on it. So this is my company name, my logo on it. And I can put anybody's picture on it. I can put everything on this mark. Yes. So I realized, no, this mark is what I'm doing. And I have a story. So if I fuse it into this mark, it will make sense.
Yeah.
Because when I was living in the forest, when I had no job, when I was depressed, I was in this black state.
Mm.
There was nothing. You see nothing in me. But within me, I realized that, no, I had something special inside of me. And this thing needs to come out. So this is why when you pour hot water in it, it just reveals the beautiful pictures on these marks. And what is inside me is extending love to people, to bring people out of depression, to bring people out of the states that they feel that they can't do anything. There's nothing inside of them. But I want to remind everybody that, the Creator placed something special in everybody. And regardless of who you are, where you're from, something good is inside of you that needs to come out for the world to see. And this is what I'm preaching to the world. And I've started going to schools, kids, and kids are people who are dear to my heart, because I was a kid growing up and I've been through a lot. So I'm trying to guide them, so that the path that I chose, the wrong path that I chose, that led me into negativity, I guide them so that they be careful and then, move on the right path and then grow up to be good people in the society. And that's what I'm all about now. Yes.
That's wonderful. That is a wonderful story. So amazing, William, to come so far and to work so hard to make changes in your life and then recognize them and then want to share them. We had a really good conversation, when we were talking couple months ago about
Yeah.
anger and resentment and forgiveness
Yeah.
because part of the one of the chapters or one of the chapters I believe in your book was talking about the realities and wisdom of life, and it talks about um, thanking your enemies because they paved the way.
Yeah.
Let me show a picture of this real quick. It's just such a
Okay.
amazing. Let me share that incredible cover. Um, and we'll talk about that, but this is your mantra, so to speak. This is what you teach: is no human is useless.
Yes.
And in this, as we're diving into the book, this, I know, I love that shirt,
Yeah.
um, is that it was so important to I'm gonna want to see you, is that it was so important to talk about that forgiveness,
Yeah.
that anger and that resentment, and then how did you move to forgiveness? And I think we really enjoyed that conversation.
Yeah.
Could you share your view and how that, I think that happened with the story about your grandmother,
Yes.
um, partially, but also like other things that have happened in life and getting past that bitterness.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So there's this chapter in my book, like you said, thank your enemies, because they paved the way for you. No need to hate your enemies. Now, this I'll share a story about me and my grandmother. My grandmother loved us when we were kids. You know, anything we want, she bought them for us. Just showing this care. Now I'm a bigger person now. I'm like 25 years old, and then um, I live in my family house. One day I woke up and my grandmother said, "Yeah, you know what? You should leave this building because I want to rent your room and then make some monies because I don't have money." I thought it was a joke. One day I went out, I came back, and then my stuff have been scattered outside. My grandmother says I should leave the house. I had no job. I don't know where to go, and it was a sad moment. So I went to her church, invited. She played a role in the Christian mothers. When you go to the Roman Catholic, they have a group that they call Christian mothers. They meet, they advise themselves. So I went to their president and invited them over that this is what my grandmother is doing. I don't understand. I have nowhere to go. And then they came to talk to her. She said, no, I need to leave the house. I am more than 18 years. there's no need. I don't have to live in the house. I have to go and live my life because I'm more than 18 years. And then truly, she sacked me. So when she sacked me, I went to look for, we call it ghetto here in
Mhm.
Ghana. It's a small building, like a small room made with woods, and all I remember is just my mag machine, the small mag machine I had, a student mattress, and a table that could just occupy the room, and then my stuff. So I had to move in there, and then I rented that apartment for 2 years. That was 2,000 Ghana cedis. That would be around not more than $100. No, 120 dollars
Mm.
thereabout. I rented that place for 2 years. It was a very hot place, and that was when I was having meetings with you guys, like the
Mhm.
erudite. It was a small room. Anytime I do meetings, my fan would be making noise, ta 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 ta.
Uh-huh.
It was
I remember
I,
that.
I, I was always sweaty
Mhm.
because it's a very hot place for me. But I had to live there for 2 years. Now, when I moved in there, I was like, "Look, William, you need to live here in the next 2 years." You know. And when my grandmother did that, I had this bitterness in me. I even called her a witch because you have no love for me. You push me into this situation, and then you just want to make life uncomfortable for me. I said a whole lot of bad stuff, and people were saying bad stuff about her. But when I was in that room, I my mind opened. I was like, William, you need to live here in 2 years' time. So I was working extra hard. People love me for me sticking to my words. Like when I tell you that, I'm doing this mark for you, you want it on Friday. I make sure I make it on Wednesday, and give it to them before the Friday that you're expecting. So nobody wanted to know, didn't care about where your office is, where you make this mark from. I was doing this mark from this small hot room, and I couldn't invite anybody there. But nobody dare asked me, we need to see your office before we order the mark. Nobody did that because I was always delivering days before their expected time. Yes. So when I entered this room, I was doing my hard work. That's why I met you guys. Sales started changing. I was just making more sales, telling my stories, sharing my stories. And could you believe in 2 years' time, I was able to gather money to get a bigger space and also get married to my fiancée. And then I sat back writing my book. I was like, my grandmother actually helped me. Though I had this bitterness in me for her, if she hadn't taken that decision to push me out of the house, I would still be living in my family house now, and I wouldn't think of growing my business, and then to the extent of even getting married. I would still be in a house unmarried and not even getting what I have now. So in a way, I was like, no. Sometimes people do stuff to us. It might look harsh, but in a way, when we take it the positive way, they are rather helping us push us into another level
Mhm.
so that we can grow in all aspects that we are doing. Yeah. So I'm just telling people that you thank your enemies because we think when they wrong us, we think they don't like us. They are pushing us into uncomfortable situation. But in a way, they are rather helping us, to grow and be better people for ourselves. So that is about that part of the book that I wish I want to tell the world that you don't need to hate anybody for whatever thing they do to you. Just pick up the positive side of it and just forgive them. Now my grandmother invites me home. Sometimes yes, I go to her. Sometimes I give her money. Take this, and then it's all love. It's all love. She still remembers she did me wrong. She wants to apologize. I'm like, hey, you've even helped me out, so no need to apologize. And then it's love. We move on. Yeah.
Wow. What a story. And do you share that with you talk to teenagers at schools, right?
Yes. Yes,
Do
I do
you
that.
do you talk to them about that story
Yes.
for them?
I tell them the story, but I tell them, especially with their teachers. Sometimes when they do something wrong in school, their teachers need to whip them, punish them, and all of that. I tell them like, hey, look, your teachers are help. They don't hate you. Don't take it as if they hate you. They want you to be the best of yourselves. So when your teacher punishes you, or when you do wrong and they try to correct you by punishment, it means that they are trying to help you be the better person of yourself. And then I link in that with my grandmother's story. They'll be like, "Oh, your grandma." I said, "No, she helped me." And the same way your teachers are helping you. So when you do stuff that your teacher, whip you or punish you, don't take it as if they hate you. They would just want the best for you.
That's incredible. That is
Yeah.
incredible. When you just recently started talking to schools, right, William? In the past,
Yeah.
like, few months after you got
Yes.
married?
Yes. After I got married, yes, I just woke up one day. I was like, no, you have this thing in you. Just give it to the kids, because one of my dreams in life is to get a big center. Build a center for kids where I would groom them, to be good people in the society. That's one of my top wish to do. So I'm just starting off by, moving to them in their schools, and then just inspire them with my story, and then tell them that no, anything they want to do in life, they can achieve it regardless.
That's fantastic. You have some nephews, right, in your life?
Yes,
Yeah?
yes. They've also played a very important role in my journey. Giovanni, I have Giovanni and then Ivan. Giovanni is now 7 years old, but when he was like 4, he always wanted to go out with me when I'm going out. Maybe I'm going to deliver mark to, a client. He'll be crying, so I take him along in the Uber. When we get there, I give the mark to him. Hey, give the mark to the lady, and then it's so adorable. So people even call me that they are buying mark, but they want Giovanni to deliver it. They had love for the guy. So
Uh-huh.
when I make the mark, I'm like, hey, will you go? Like, I'll go, I'll follow you, and then we go together, and then he delivers the mark, and then the people love it. So they even buy marks, not for the marks, but they just want to see Giovanni. And that was a very very great role he played for me in my business. And I wasn't abusing him. I wasn't abusing
Right.
him. Yes, people may think so, but he didn't want to be home with his mom. He wanted to be with the uncle, because the father wasn't around. So he always wanted to be there with the uncle. And I've just taken a cab. Yeah, he just sits in the front, and then we go. So I've made him my ambassador, for
Uh-huh.
my business. And then Ivan too is coming up. And I just want to instill in their minds, in their mind, that I'll just use my story to let them know that in life, whatever you want to become, you can become. Just make a good choice, and then believe in yourself that God has given something very beautiful inside of you that needs to come out. So I'm just using this opportunity to also groom them to be better people in the society when they grow up.
Incredible. I mean,
Yeah,
just a wonderful story, William. You're, just a beautiful example of what, grace and forgiveness can do, and hard challenges, and you, were able to move through those and grow, and now share, impact these young lives, continue to impact lives,
sure.
continue to grow your platform, and share this internationally, for sure, as this book gets completed and you continue speaking. And um, so what's the best way that we can look at, um, helping further your message, or supporting you, or just, having conversation with you? Can people reach out to you, William, and connect with you?
Why not? Of course. Anybody. I am there, to encourage everybody who is depressed, who is lost, who is, you know, find like see himself or herself like good for nothing. I am there to change that perspective. And I'm willing to use my story to let you know that, anything that you wish to do, it is possible. Forget about situations that are uncomfortable that comes along the way. It is part of life. It is like school that I said. You need to definitely write an exams and then pass to the next grade. So you can't take it out of your life, uncomfortable situations are about to come. It's going to come. But when you prepare your mind towards it and it comes, like when you learn, you know you have an exams. When you learn and you're prepared to the exams and the paper comes, there's no need asking anybody for questions. You're just going to write it and just pass. So, I have grown to that to the extent that I have to program my mind to face any challenges that comes and then turn it to a positive one to help myself and people around me. So I'm willing to speak with anybody. I'm willing to share my story to anybody, and I want to support these kids. Like last time I went there, I gave them some books. I supported them with some books, but I realized some of them had uniforms that are tattered, and then, you know, I promised them that I'm going to get them some uniforms. And that is what I'm looking up to help some of the kids get a good uniform to
Mm-hmm.
wear. Yes. And I'm hoping to also, raise some monies, get more books for them, and then, just help and support them because kids are dear to me. That is me. Yes. I would want to love, I would love to help them.
What I want you to do is figure out how we can get a connection to, if people want to maybe send a donation to help that. I think we were talking earlier about, I know, like for the mugs, we did World Remit, but you have another account as well
Yeah.
for US dollar
Yes.
to Ghana,
Yeah.
because there's some challenges of getting money into that country for some
Yeah.
reason, of
Yeah.
course. So I would encourage anybody out there that wants to do that is to reach out to William, and maybe you can set that up as an additional page, William. But however we can do, and of course how I can help you to navigate that, and then how about that shirt? Let me see that
Yeah.
t-shirt.
No human is useless.
Oh
Can you see
my
that?
God!
Yeah. No
Yes,
human is useless.
I love it.
Never. Never.
That's
So you don't
wonderful.
look you don't look down on any human being regardless of who they are currently. It takes a second, it takes a phone call, it takes an email, it takes a text message, to
Yeah,
change the life of somebody.
yeah.
So don't look down. That is what I've learned, and that's what I tell these people, this kids. Don't look, like I went to the school. I asked them, who is the brilliant kid here, and one guy raised the hand. I'm like, okay, cool. So, and I asked another guy, what I think that guy wasn't too good with books,
Oh,
but he was a very good footballer. No, I was like, I made an example. I just took both of them. I was like, okay, so you, this guy who is knowledgeable, in school. Let's say
yeah,
you're a lawyer, and this guy who is always last in class is a great footballer. Now, footballers are even earning more money than some lawyers and some other professions.
yeah.
Now, this guy cannot read and write. So when you're signed up to a new football club, you need somebody to help you out, like a lawyer, to sign your deal. So you guys need each other. It doesn't mean that you don't know book or you are last in class, you are useless. No, you are going to feed him because you guys need to measure up. He helps you sign these contracts, read well, so you don't sign anything that will go against you. Then you pay him, and then you work hand in hand. And they were just like, wow, this is so true. And I'm like, yes. So no human is useless, regardless of where you are coming from, who you are, or what you're doing. Everybody is important. Everybody is special.
Perfect story.
Yeah,
Perfect story. Um, I'm so very thankful to know you, William. You've just been a
yeah,
true, like, just a blessing and a gift in my life, and I'm so glad our paths crossed, and
yeah,
especially since we've caught up and then got to see each other again, and we'll see each other. We'll plan out at least in another month or two. But in the meantime, I want to make sure that we do get some way to get those things that you want to support, if people want to help or acknowledge. And, you know, I know it can be a challenge, like getting things shipped out. So I'm sure there's some ways that we can figure that out. But,
yeah,
to get to get the word out. And we're looking forward to your book coming out.
Yeah, yeah,
That's really exciting. Let me share that again.
yeah.
Um, I mean, this is just, and this picture you said was from when you were in the jungle?
Yes, yes. When I was in the forest.
Yeah, in the forest. Wow,
Mm.
that is incredible. Yeah.
With my
And
tattered singlet.
with your what?
My tattered singlet.
Oh,
The shirt I was wearing.
uh-huh.
Hmm.
What is hidden must come out. Beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful. Well, William, I want you to have a good rest of your day. You've been a great gift this morning. This has been a fantastic way to start off Saturday morning. And we had so many great people. Some of the messages I was showing didn't show their names. So I want to send some shout outs here. We had Shauna and Carlene, and also known as CJ, my friend,
um,
and Evan, he popped in, and we had um, W. Kernewan. I'm not sure who that was. Must be a friend of yours. And Hunter, just some great friends that I think we both know most of them.
yeah.
And if y'all don't know William, please connect, or I'm happy to connect you. But he's just too good not to know, as far as I'm concerned. And I I tell you what, you're going to continue to just grow and grow because your story's too good not to share, and all the things. And it's, just know that it's great to send that message out. Never forget that it's true for you too.
Yeah.
You are of high value and worth in this world. And we're so
Thank you.
grateful to get
Thank you.
your presence, William. So I want you to have a wonderful day, and we'll talk soon. Thanks, everybody.
Sure.